Hey, what's up everybody? Chozo Nomad here. My brother recommended this game to me. It's called March of War. It's like a mixture of Risk, the board game, if you ever played it. You know, you actually use paper and little plastic toys and whatnot. Anyway, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it, and he said this is kind of like it, so I'm willing to give it a shot. And I actually just got back from out of town. I was up at Wyoming, the Jackson Hole area, summoning Gannett Peak with my dad. That was a lot of fun. Almost got hit by lightning. Anyway, so yeah, let's see how this thing goes. I know almost nothing about it other than a couple videos I watched. Supposedly it's like an episodic deal, kind of like I don't know, just a new take on World War II. Considering the World War II genre has been pretty beat down over a couple decades. So let's see how this goes. Welcome to the pilot episode of March of War, the online episodic turn-based strategy game. Your actions will shape the world! Always epic. So let's see what we got here. We got this guy, looks like he's got a messed up Aperture Science logo, and he's a samurai. Then we got this blue coat person. Not to sure him. He's clearly Russian. Clearly Americas. Appears to be Mexico. And I think the Arabian, probably Africa. Okay, cool. So let's see what's up next. F1 support. This pilot, blah, 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 please give your suggestions. Press F1 to contact us. Oh, that's cool that they have it built straight in. Creating a character. First, you'll have to create a character. You can join any of the 6 factions that are fighting to dominate the world. So each faction has their own strengths, weaknesses, so make a careful choice. Alright. Oh, that's Europe. Europe owns... Okay, that kind of makes sense, because England used to own Australia back in the day. Okay, where do I find out? Whoa, okay, master problem. Why are you so low? Let's go moderate. Full screen, visual quality, good. Apply. Don't crash my game, please. Okay, that's been applied. Return to game. My brother wanted to be the Russians. Strength, cheap infantry, fearsome walkers, highly effective propaganda. Heavy tanks, elite infantry, advanced long-range weapons. Ooh, I like long-range weapons. Strength, well-trained infantry, numerous mass-produced and powerful air support. Let's see. Strengths, guerrilla tactics, heavy infantry, weapons, chemical warfare. African warlords. Their strengths are improvised vehicles, trained war beasts, deadly melee fighters. Shogun. Fast tanks, devastating rocket artillery, powerful flame weapons. Alright, I'm thinking the Europe or America. Let's go with Europe. Let's see, what were the strengths again? Show me the thingy. Air tanks, elite infantry, advanced long-range weapons. Actually, air superiority might be nice. Let's go with America. Patriot capitalists, well-trained infantry, and blah 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 blah. Average tanks, few heavy units. It's okay, I'm more like a fast light kind of guy anyway. Join! Create character name. What should our character's name be? Griswold. There we go. Alright, we're gonna be a black dude with a beard. Let's go. And my frame rate went down to about 4 frames a second. 1 frame. Here's his computer. From time to time, there's special or rare units or command cards available on the deals page to complement you. This is a free-to-play game, and this is one of the aspects that I don't quite like from free-to-play games, is they have to make money somehow, which makes sense. So you only pay for the aspects of the game that you want, but this tends to be abused. I know there was some raging about this in PlanetSide 2, how some of the better weapons, they were technically, you could get them for free, but you had to play for over 100 hours for one gun. I just don't like the idea of pay for advantage. Anyway, that's my little rant. Continuing. Introduction. Welcome, I am your faction leader, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. If you wish to skip the 3D battle tutorial, you can surrender through the options menu on the right. Never surrender! Okay. Camera, you can move your camera with the WASD keys, taking and dragging the mouse, rotating the... Oh, my poor frame rate. It's like you can move twice each turn, or they can move and attack, left click during the move. Okay, so pretty standard. I'm going to see if I can't do something about the options. Ultra. Don't want my computer to explode, thank you. Hello. Let's turn up the master volume. Fly. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit smoother. Good. Turn the game. Okay. Scroll in, scroll out. Rotate the camera. That doesn't do anything. Okay. That does that. So click
How
you.
about some action?
Okay, so it's 3D, but it's kind of like little textile-based movement. You capture A for short range infantry effectively, so that it might walk.
Go, go, go!
Whoa, okay. That movement's really jumpy. That's probably just my computer. Click the gate to attack it.
Let's go!
Alright, yeah. I'm just going to start talking over the rest of this video. Simply because if you've played any kind of strategy game or turn-based strategy game or any kind of game like this, you know that the first 15 minutes of getting into it involve a lot of just getting used to the controls and a lot of looking rather unintelligent, especially when you're recording yourself and going, what does this button do? Anyway, so I'm just going to talk over this, make it a little more interesting for you to watch, give you, my thoughts on what aspects are more important and what aspects aren't, this, that, and the other. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant later on as far as the pay for advantage aspect of this game goes, but I'll save that for later. Right now I'm just going to focus on the movement system, how easy it is to use, the kind of combat scenarios that you're going to get into. So if you've played the most recent XCOM, it's going to work fairly close to that. You have the option to either shoot, move then shoot, or move twice. There's no option for Overwatch. Other than that, I haven't noticed an appreciable difference to like terrain effects on movement and attacking. The only thing that you'll get whenever you're in this training phase here is cliffs. If you're on the bottom of a hill, you can't shoot somebody who's on top of it, and if they're on top of it, then they can shoot down on you. That's like the only terrain effect that I've noticed so far. They might add some later, because like I said, this is still kind of a beta game. But other than that, it's fairly straightforward combat. Point, click, tell them who to shoot. Just use your brain while you're fighting. As you can see, there's 3 different resources down here in the corner. You have your manpower, your mechanical power, and then star power, I guess. Each one corresponds to specific things, like tanks. You need a certain amount of mechanical power to deploy a tank. You need a certain amount of manpower to deploy a grunt or a GI, something like that. And the stars correspond to special abilities that are specific to your faction or your cards or whatever that you get later on. And then you can do like strafing runs, this, that, and the other. So that's fairly straightforward, and just like imagine it more like a three credit system, kind of, like that. So I'm gonna take a break from the movement system here, and I'm gonna start getting into your army, supplies, and faction buttons. Those are always on the top of your screen at any given time. Now the supplies screen, I'm not gonna get into it yet. That comes later. The supplies screen is where you can buy stuff. This is a free-to-play game, like I've said before, and of course, they need to make money somehow. The quality of this game is very high. The music is fantastic. The art's fantastic. But they do need to make money, so this is how they do that. And I saving that for later. And then this is the faction button. The faction button, borrows a lot of aspects from like social networking or something like that. And if you're following the development of Destiny by Bungie, I believe they're doing something similar to this, where they're trying to keep the fan base constantly engaged in what's going on with the game. Because this world, you'll notice it later on in the video, this world is a constantly evolving world, much like PlanetSide 2, where you have several factions gaining control of these land masses and so on. It's a lot like that. the environment of this game is never static. So the faction is the way for you to keep connected with your faction, what they're doing and who's doing what. It is very interesting how they decide what objectives that you're going to be going after, because you can actually elect the leader of your faction from the player base, and then they'll give the orders to attack this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. Alright, this is your army. Now, how the army functions, it is the pool of units of which you can deploy with any given match. You'll see that there are little numbers up here in the corner, GIs, 2 GIs. That is the total number of GIs you can deploy for an entire match. So, oh goodness, excuse me. So if you deploy 2 GIs and both those GIs die, you cannot deploy any more GIs. That is the maximum number of GIs that you can deploy. And you can get more GIs or tanks or bazooka guys or jeeps by beating matches and earning gold. Or you can go the other route and purchase emeralds. Now these emeralds, those are what you actually spend real money to purchase objects within the game. I'm going to start going to my rant here. This is the aspect of free-to-play games that tends to get abused a lot. You saw this in PlanetSide 2, you saw this in other free-to-play games, and I'm starting to see it in this game already as well. Because, unfortunately, due to this aspect in which you can actually pay to increase the pool of units on which you can draw on, there are huge gaps opening up within the player base as experience versus to available units and this, that, and the other. It essentially breaks the way the developers have designed the game to be balanced. It makes matchmaking virtually impossible simply because of the fact that a level 3 could spend $50 on his unit pool and could have 15 tanks, 15 GIs, 15 bazookas, and somebody else who's been playing the game for a long time, like 20, 30 hours, 40 hours at a time, has just begun accessing a larger pool of units, is completely blown out of the water simply because this guy has money. And that it breaks the matchmaking system, and it breaks the balance of the game. Like the PlanetSide 2 thing that I mentioned earlier, technically yes, it's free, but you had to play for hundreds of hours to get this advantage, versus dropping a couple dollars and you can have the exact same advantage. So it's just the way that this happens, and this is going to be abused. I know it's going to be abused because it's already being abused. My brother was playing this game earlier against a very low level player, and my brother plays the game a little bit more than I do. But this player, because he paid for this advantage, he had like 20 tanks at his disposal at an incredibly low level, or something like that. I don't know the exact units I was using against. I was just listening to my brother rage about it. But it's this kind of treatment of your player base, and treatment of the ability to pay for advantage and gaining monetary benefit from your players. It just tends to turn people off as well. It's just, I don't know. It's an aspect of free-to-play games that I don't particularly care for. But like I said, they are a company. They do need to make money. This is how they do it. This is my rant. I'm going to stop now because there's not much I can do about it at this point in time. And it's a good game. I mean, as much as I've been ranting about the whole pay for advantage versus free-to-play thing, it's still a good game. It's a very high-quality game. I like it. I enjoy it. You're probably going to see more videos about this from me in the future. There is a co-op aspect. I didn't go into that because that's a whole nother beast on its own. So yeah, you'll probably see a video of me playing co-op with my brother later on here, or maybe in the next week or so. Other than that, I can solidly recommend the game, even though I just spent the past couple minutes ranting about it. It's a good game. Go out, download it. It's free. Have fun with it. This has been Chozo Nomad, and I'll see you next time.